Hello everyone, welcome to my selected chess channel. Here I share the newest and most exciting chess games with you. Today I'm bringing you a truly brilliant game that has just been played. One dinity dao. Ye. Natadinra. Hikaru with the white pieces and Dr. Evarth Kahn with the black pieces. Let's dive right in and enjoy the action together. Hikaru opens with 1. E4, thrusting his king's pawn forward like a flag planted in the heart of the board, center claimed, war drums rolling. Dr. Kahn responds with Anini. C5, the Sicilian counterpunch, challenging the center with steel. A fight, not a handshake, is declared. Hikaru develops with 2. And F3, his knight leaping toward the center, protecting F-hour and eyeing critical dark squares with intent. Dr. B. Kahn strikes with Dutch Wed. Aye. No, run. Zix, a solid pawn wall, aiming to build a fortress behind which his pieces can breathe and counterattack. Hikaru slashes forward with 3. D4, exploding the center, a bold duel invitation saying, "Come meet me. No hiding." E. Dr. B. Kahn accepts with Dartshiu. Now is it a... Duel. CX4, snatching the pawn like a swordsman answering the call. Blood spilled early. Hikaru calmly replies 4. X4, his knight retaking the pawn and standing tall in the center like a conquering hero. Dr. Wei. Kahn develops with Twat, now. Nandi. Animal Vai. F6, attacking E4 and making Hikaru think twice. The knight arrives as a menacing shadow. Hikaru defends with 5. NCE, bringing his other knight to reinforce the center. The white cavalry rides in 2 by 2. Dr. White. Kahn hits with a dotty. Aye. A6, a classic Najdorf touch, preparing B5 and expanding his queenside territory with patience and venom. Hikaru pushes 6. BG5, pinning Kahn's knight on F6. The bishop looms like a sniper trained on the king's bodyguard. Dr. Kahn replies, "Ian it guy." Yeah. E6, a steel gate slammed shut, freeing his dark-squared bishop and holding his structure together. Hikaru plays 7 turndayer. Fowler, aggressive pawn thrust, staking space on the king's side and hinting at a storm to come. Dr. Kahn coolly answers with, "Died you are." Aye. B7, unpinning his knight and preparing to castle. His defenses are layered. Hikaru retreats his bishop with 8. QF3, linking queen and bishop, eyeing the king's side like a predator scanning prey. Dr. What? Kahn castles. Ando. Warrior. Oh, bringing his king to safety, signaling readiness for the coming clash. Hikaru centralizes with 9. Castling long, declaring war on opposite wings, a sure sign of fireworks ahead. Dr. What? Kahn challenges with ... As my way or William, he. QC7, placing his queen opposite Hikaru's king, whispering promises of counterstrike. Hikaru pushes 10 to ID. BD3, reinforcing E-Four, his bishops cutting like twin blades toward the enemy camp. Dr. Kahn strikes with ... NB to 7, another knight in the game, clustering defenders around his king like bodyguards tightening formation. Hikaru lunges with 11. Rion, sliding his rook to Aoni, eyes burning toward the E-file. The pressure is building. Dr. Kahn answers with .D. Benrui. Wari. B5. His pawn storm begins, queenside claws slashing outward toward Hikaru's king. Hikaru responds with 12. QHA3, shifting the queen to H3, glaring at 7 and sharpening the F5 break. Dr. What? Kahn calmly moves. Andi G. B7, developing his bishop, adding weight to the long diagonal and balance to his army. Hikaru charges with 13. F5, the center pawn thrust. Bayonet forward, smashing into Kahn's knight. Dr. A. Kahn reacts with door. Enmayal. White. D5, exchanging pawns, but cracks are opening. Trades don't erase the tension. Hikaru snaps back 14. FC5, recapturing with his pawn. The F-file opens, and the white rook eyes the king with hunger. Dr. Kahn dodges with a taute. Aned. Wow. Anks F5, his knight seizing the pawn, daring Hikaru to prove the gambit wasn't reckless. Hikaru doesn't hesitate. 15. BX F6, bishop takes knight on F6, shattering Kahn's defender, creating sparks in the king's guard. Dr. J. Kahn immediately answers. Benara. BXX, bishop recaptures on F6. He holds the line, but scars remain. The board smolders after the exchange. Hikaru coolly plays 16. Arx F5. His rook lunging forward to seize the knight on F5. Steel for flesh, no hesitation. Dr. W. Kahn strikes back with Ian Dodd. GA6, pushing his pawn to fend off white's queen and blunt the pressure along the dark squares. Hikaru calmly retreats 17. QG3, sliding his queen back but keeping the H-file and diagonal under surveillance, sharp as ever. Dr. Kahn answers with ... Astay. QX F5, queen capturing the rook on F5. A big exchange that evens material. but leaves questions of safety. Hikaru ignites 18 tower. Before, bishop jump into e4, staring down black's king position, tension pulsing through the board. Dr. B. Kahn sidesteps with .j. Wow. A. Ray 7, shifting his rook to a 7, a strange but cautious move, keeping guard on his 7th rank. Hikaru develops further with 19. Qf3, queen re-centralized, weaving threats between kingside and center like a coiled serpent. Dr. Kahn chooses. Where? Oh. Bye. BJ7, bringing his bishop to G7, finally breathing life into his long diagonal, defensive but late. Hikaru doubles rooks with 20 I. R8, crashing the rook into enemy territory, threatening mate nets with surgical precision. Dr. Kahn pushes. And Iran. F5, driving his pawn into the center, forcing space but leaving squares weakened behind. Hikaru keeps control with 21. RX fight. Rook smashing black's fight bishop, no mercy, only clean execution. Doctors. Kahn has no choice. 9. There. KX fight, king takes rook, stepping closer into the fire, a monarch turned frontline soldier. Hikaru calmly centralizes 22. Qf6, queen to f6, placing the blade directly near black's jugular vein. Mat threats loom. Dr. Kahn tries. My wife beautiful, and I shame the Mariah. K-gate. Tucking the king on gate, desperate to wriggle free from Hikaru's encroaching shadows. Hikaru continues with 23. BD5, his bishop sliding to D5, cutting the board in half, suffocating black's movements. Dr. White. Kahn brings. Wanaiwa. Shirao. BF5, bishop to 5, trying to challenge Hikaru's long-range artillery and trade some pressure away. Hikaru doesn't blink. 24. G4. Pawn storms forward, snapping at the bishop and chasing Kahn's pieces off balance. Dr. Kahn retreats with Dutch Kahn. Easy. I know. B6, his bishop fleeing to E6, still clinging to dark squares, but its pride clearly wounded. Hikaru tightens the noose, 25 dark. BX8, bishop takes bishop, reducing defenders and slicing open Kahn's fragile shell. Dr. Anna. Kahn recaptures with .byte war. Din. Nan ma. Han. Neum. May. Fx6. Pawn takes bishop. The structure around his king is now shattered glass. Hikaru launches 26. B3. A quiet yet deadly pawn move, preparing to march the queenside army and box Kahn further. Dr. Kahn activates with A2A. Non. RD7. Rook sliding into 7, one of his last pieces trying to find counterplay amid ruins. Hikaru expands with 27. C4. Pawn supporting the queenside advance, a wall rolling forward with inevitability. Dr. Kahn lashes out. Bxe4. Pawn takes pawn, hoping to open files and spark counterchances in the smoke. Hikaru replies 28. Bxe4. Recapturing cleanly, holding the center firm. His pawns are still towering soldiers in perfect ranks. Dr. Kahn tries. Nannen Spanigi. Oh, IC7. Rook swings to 7, gunning at Hikaru's pawns, hunting for scraps with shaky aim. Hikaru coolly plays 29. Kate. Queen to 8 check. A royal spear thrown directly at Kahn's exposed monarch. Dr. Rick. Kahn is forced into bow. Nanabawai Nanoi. KF7. King steps to 7, nerve stretched thin but still breathing under fire. Hikaru adds 30. QF3. Queen check from F3, driving the king back into tighter corners, cutting his escape routes. Dr. Kahn slides into Tuedabeshi. Niwanda. Wanoizao. K7. King to A7, hiding behind the rook and praying for survival. But Hikaru's hunt is far from over. Hikaru calmly plays 31. Koyaitsik. Queen sliding to fight with a chilling check, forcing Dr. Kahn's king to dance under fire. Dr. Kahn answers with ... Day. It. Cakes fight. King forced to capture the queen. A bold gulp that leaves him naked in the storm. Hikaru immediately pushes 32. C5. His pawn marching like a war drum, splitting open the queenside battlefield. Dr. Kahn counters with ... Nyan. Orsmine. En new denu arwal. Rxe5. Rook snapping the pawn, trying to thin Hikaru's pawns before they become unstoppable. Hikaru strikes with 33. Rxe5. Rook retakes the rook, clean execution, further simplifying into a winning endgame. Dr. Kahn is cornered in the doubtidy imabilioni. Maintenance suandi, Iran got P. Large Yaman Bay. K7. King shuffling to E7, trying desperately to centralize before Hikaru's pawns advance. Hikaru expands with 34. C4. A quiet push, laying concrete foundations for past pawns that scream danger. Dr. Kahn responds with ... I know. KD6. His king creeping forward, searching for counterplay amidst the wreckage. Hikaru coolly develops 35 air. KD2. His king stepping into the fray, joining the front line with quiet confidence. Dr. Kahn mirrors with ... Aye. Aye day. KC5, pushing his king outward, gambling on activity to save the game. Hikaru presses 36.08. KC3, kings staring at each other across the center like rival generals before the final clash. Door. Kahn jabs with .day. Ani. Nods you. A5, pawn thrusting forward, hoping to carve some space and complicate Hikaru's path. Hikaru replies with 37. F4, queenside pawns marching, preparing to steamroll everything in their way. Dr. Kahn retreats into Chu Gade. Neo mine. Hey, I bet. A5, blocking Hikaru's pawn storm, but only delaying the inevitable flood. Hikaru pushes 38 taut. C5, pawn advance, tearing at the black wall, sending shockwaves through Dr. Kahn's defense. Dr. Kahn bites with Unide. Why? KD5, king steps into the open, gambling his monarch as an active piece. Hikaru calmly answers with 39. KD3, his king centralizing with surgical precision, cutting escape routes for Kahn's ruler. Dr. Kahn thrusts. Anani. Nay. A5, pawn rushing forward, a desperate attempt to distract Hikaru on the king side. Hikaru marches 40 Dayor. GXF5, pawn captures pawn, silencing the diversion. No distractions allowed. Dr. Kahn recaptures. GXF5, another pawn trade, but his king remains stranded in enemy territory. Hikaru steps 41 Taro. H4, pawn push tightening the kingside grip, slowly squeezing the life out of black's hopes. Dr. Kahn lashes back with die. Hey. And KC5, king shuffles again, but his army is too thin to resist. Hikaru goes 42. K4, his king boldly walking forward, leading the troops into the heart of battle. Dr. A. Kahn strikes. Anin, 9, and Ray, is able Godry say, Diga. Man hindi binigyan wonder not shrouded D. KB4, king invades deep, but it feels reckless, a soldier far behind enemy lines. Hikaru calmly checks with 43. KF5, king eats pawn on E5, now fully weaponized as both monarch and executioner. Dr. Kahn grabs. Yen. Monman. Safur, king takes pawn on A4, but he's chasing scraps while Hikaru builds a masterpiece. Hikaru pushes 44. KD5, his king marching forward unstoppable, a general claiming land with every step. Dr. Kahn tries. Ah. Ah. KB5, king sliding sideways, clinging to survival like a lone survivor on a battlefield. Hikaru seals it with 45. Yikes. Pawn driving forward with deadly force. The coronation run is underway. Dr. Wave. Kahn sees the writing on the wall and resigns. Hikaru's victory is absolute. The American maestro crushes without mercy. That's the end of today's game. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time watching my video. Don't forget to hit subscribe and support my channel. It'll keep bringing you the best and latest games. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the next video.